Right, I'm going to go through a couple of mixes now, which are revolving around the fish meal side of things. Now, I like to use fish meal on natural waters on the river. It's not everybody's cup of tea. I've had success with it, one or two mixes, so I can't see any reason to change. Start the season, I sort of do go down a fish meal route, sort of early seasons, because I think the fish are hungry. They're going to be searching out for some food, and the scent of the fish meal drag one or two fish in the peg. But also, if there's colour in the water or movement in the water, I think that fish meal is an absolute must, because the scent that it gives off drags those fish in. I had to have a bit of a layoff sort of from October onwards, and I didn't get back fishing until January, so I missed a lot of the time over here when we had colour in the water. We're very lucky because it's controlled by sluice gates, we're still able to fish it. But like I say, I missed a lot of what I would deem the real good fishing, because a lot of the colour in the pace, where you got a fish where you rod up with a bow, 2-3 ounce tip, I absolutely love that style of fishing. But I was unable to do it. But when I came back to the bank, sort of January, late January onwards, towards the end of the season, my mix was exactly the same every time I went out. Now, I got through a lot of ground bait, as you can imagine, but it was the same mix when I went out. Now, it revolved the bulk of it round the Bait-Tech Special G Green. They do a Special G Gold and also a dark. But the green I was actually using with the Bait-Tech Pro Natural Dark. Now, I haven't got any of the dark, but this is exactly the same, except it's not dark. So Bait-Tech Pro Natural Green, dark, and the Special G. But I'd still use this in the summer. So these two together, it's going to give you a green mix, as you can imagine, because of the Special G Green. So you're going to get a light green with this, much the similar sort of colour as what the Special G is, but with the dark, you're going to get a real dark green mix. Now, I was using anywhere between, I was mixing up like 3 kilo of ground bait, I suppose. So you've got a bag and a half, your kilo and a half bag, your Bait-Tech Bream Dark. So I was using a bag and a half, so you got like 2 kilo, just over 2 kilo. And I was using a bag of this, the whole bag. If I knew I was going the next day or a couple of days later, 3 kilo of ground bait, 3.5 kilo of ground bait was going to last 2 trips. Like I say, because I was using exactly the same mix every time I went out, it didn't matter if I kept a bit behind. If I knew I was only going, say, on a Saturday, then I would probably just mix up a bag and half a bag. That way then, that's the sort of ratio I was doing. So a bag and half a bag for one session. If I knew I was going for 2, I'd have a bag and a half in a bag, or even 2 bags in a bag. That way then you got a fair amount of ground bait, mixed up the night before again, so everything sort of takes on all the water. That way then, blitz it on the bank. Another brilliant mix to go with the Special G Green is also Pro Natural, just a normal Pro Natural range. Pro Natural Dark, again, with the green, you're going to get a dark green mix. The other fish meal ground bait that I've been using is the Bait-Tech Max Feeder. Now again, this is a very strong fish meal mix. When you actually open the bag up, it doesn't smell that strong, not like the Special G. Special G is really strong. But this doesn't smell that strong, but as you mix it, you can smell it getting stronger and stronger and stronger. As you can see there, it's a green colour anyway. It's not sort of as green as the other. This is more like your sort of olivey, sort of dark olivey green. And again, I'd use this with the Pro Natural Bream. Through the summer months, so early season, I was using this in the Bream. So you get a sort of a olivey green sort of mix. But like I say, it's very strong. 2 kilo bag, and you got 1.5 kilos. Mix the two together, 3.5 kilo, mixed up overnight. By the time it's soaked up all the water, you've got a fair amount of ground bait. Like I say, I'm putting in, when I'm fishing the feeder, especially in the summer, 20, even 30 real big feeder falls. If I'm going to fish the slider with the fish meal, I'll be putting in probably about 10, 15, that sort of size on the slider. There's 1 or 2 pegs where when I get there, if I'm fishing for an evening, I might actually put a bed of bait down and fish the slider in the middle before I go on the feeder. Then I sort of, about that sort of size, just enough to fit in a whopper dropper catapult. I'll probably put in about 18 balls, let that go for about 2-3 hours, then go on it and fish into the evening. The only other addition which I will have through the summer months is sweet corn. Probably, if you're going to put initial feed in, that's a small tin there. I'd probably put a whole tin of that in. That way then going to get a big bed of bait down. I'm quite an advocate of putting a big bed of bait down and sit for an hour and a half. If I don't get a bite, I'm not really bothered. But when the fish come in, there's a big bed of bait there, and hopefully they won't move off. So there's just a couple of mixes there. The Max feeder and the Bream. It's one mix. And the Special G in the Bream is another mix. 2 fish meal mixes which I use on natural waters.